Evaluating functions is just another way to talk about solving equations when given a certain value. Here we have y equals x plus 2. If x equals 2, what does y equal? Well, we know we could take this 2 and we could substitute it in for x. That would give us y equals 2 plus 2 because we subbed this 2 in for x, which would give us a value of y equals 4. If we're dealing with function notation, like so, f of x equals x plus 2, and we want to find f of 2, this is just another way to say that x equals 2. So all we would do is we'd take that 2 and we'd plug it in for this x right here. That would give us f of x equals 2 plus 2. Again, we just substituted in this 2 for this x. That would give us an f of x value of 4. Ha 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 ha. F of x equals x squared. Evaluate each of the following functions. Here we have f of 1. This is going to equal, instead of our x squared, we're plugging in a 1 for x. That would give us 1 squared. And 1 squared is just going to be 1 times 1, or 1. Beautiful. Here we have f of negative 3. This time, instead of 1, we're going to plug in negative 3 for x. That's going to give us negative 3 squared. And I put the parentheses because this is going to be negative 3 times negative 3, which is going to be positive 9. Lastly, f of 7. This time we plug in 7 for x. That's going to give us f of x equals 7 squared, which 7 times 7 is 49, and we've got our answer. So when evaluating functions, all you need to do is plug in whatever's in the parentheses, whatever represents your x, for x, and solve. Wait, what? Here we have f of x equals 2x and g of x equals x minus 1. Now this g here just represents a different function. We have a function for f and we have a function for g. You can have a function of any letter, a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h, I, j, k, l, m, n, p, q, r, s, t, u, v, w, x, y, or z. In this case, just f and g. Here they're telling us if f of x equals 8, what is x? Now notice, this f of x equals 8 looks very different than the problems we just did. So if we had f of 8, that means we would plug 8 in for x using the f function. However, this time they're telling us f of x equals 8. So what we can do is we can plug this 8 in for f of x. That would give us 8 equals 2x. Again, since we knew that f of x equaled 8, we just plugged that 8 in for f of x, giving us 8 equals 2x. Now to solve that, we could divide 2 both sides. That'll give us x equals 4 and our answer. Next we have g of x equals negative 7. This time we're going to take this negative 7 and plug that in for g of x, giving us negative 7 equals x minus 1. If we solve from there, we just add 1 to both sides. Negative 7 plus 1 is going to give us a value of x equals negative 6. So pay attention whether or not you're plugging in your value for x or you're plugging in, like in these cases, if they give you what the function equals, you set that equal to the f of x or g of x depending on the case. Let's play around a little bit with this x f of x table, which is just like an xy table. Here we want to find each value using the table. We want to find f of negative 2. Now keep in mind, when using function notation, you have f of x. So this is telling us that x equals negative 2, and we want to find f of negative 2. So we're going to go up to our x row. We see that x equals negative 2 right here, and f of negative 2 is going to equal negative 5. So f of negative 2 equals negative 5. If we want to find f of 7, that's basically telling us that x equals 7, and f of 7 is going to be 12. So f of 7 equals 12. Here, if f of x equals 0, what is x? This time, instead of giving us an x value, they're giving us an f of x value. So if f of x equals 0, our x value is going to be 1. If f of x equals negative 5, what is x? Well, this time f of x equals negative 5, our x value is going to be negative 2. When using these function tables, just make sure to determine what information they're giving you. Like these over here, f of negative 2, f of 7, they are giving you the x value and want you to find the f of x value. If they tell you the f of x value, that means they're giving you your y or f of x value and they want you to find your x.